it is cocktail season. So you may not be distilling your own spirits, but you can grow your own herbs to transform cocktail hour into instant happy hour. So our next segment was sparked by a viewer who's thinking ahead to summer mojitos. We like the way she thinks. Take a look.
Every year I try and grow mint, and every year it's a fail. Cocktail season on the patio is coming. How do I get my mint to grow?
What a great question, and we know a guy who can answer that. Frankie is back to share what herbs to take from the planter box to that margarita on the rocks. Hey, Frankie.
Hey, yeah, mint is a plant that should always be planted in a container, not in the garden, because it gets a little crazy, Trace. And sometimes when it's not growing, it's when you're using too small of a pot. Go to a larger container size. It'll do the best for you. And then sun. Sun is a must. But mint, we love it because, yeah, indeed, mint is the perfect pair when it comes to white rum for that mojito. And that mojito, of course, is where you have that nice little sugar rim around it with a little bit of lime. That's the perfect summer drink. And when I think about vacations away, I think about the mojito. And really, that's really my backyard getaway right now, is my vacation away, and I love a mojito.
Your t-shirt is so good, and I love a fresh mojito too. It's so good. Okay, let's talk the gardener. Let's talk rosemary, my friend. What can you tell us about rosemary?
So rosemary is a wonderful aromatic, but rosemary pairs really nicely with any drink that has to do with berries. And when it comes to berries, you got to think about gin. So pairing the rosemary together with gin, and this is just with a mix of different berries. You can even use a frozen berry if you want to save some money as well. But gin's great. That's Dillon's gin. I always like to use some of the craft brewers and distillers that are out there because I like to support smaller local.
What have you got next?
Basil. So when we talk about basil's one of those plants, just a little couple growing tips for you as well. It's something that doesn't want to be in a windy spot. You can even see here today, it's a little bit windy, and you can see how the basil almost immediately reacts to that wind. We want it to be sunny but protected from wind. Basil does really well with strawberries. So if you really think of a nice drink, some lemon, some strawberries, and then add a little bit of vodka. There's a story with this vodka as well. It's called Sight Vodka. This is made from the carrots that are not so good. The crooked carrots, they put it and pair it with corn, and they recycle it together. And another fun story, the carrots are grown in Bradford, and that is my cousins that are making that vodka right now. So it's called Sight Vodka. They won an award in San Francisco apparently for it.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. So sight because the carrots are good for your eyesight? So drink more carrot vodka?
Yeah, but I say if more you're going to lose your sight if you drink too much.
No kidding. Okay, the next herb, Frankie, you say needs to be planted before spring arrives, right?
Well, it wants to be a little bit earlier. You know, dill is a wonderful herb, and it likes to be in a little bit more of the cooler conditions. And dill is something, when I think of dill, I think of Fordilly. So if we think of Fordilly and we're going to make a drink, of course, we're going to think about adding some cucumbers. So we're just going to put a little bit of cucumbers in there, and with that, we'll squeeze a little bit of lime. Oh, think of that, cucumbers. And I love lime. If there's anything, I just lime and something. I'm just going to be happy with lime and a little bit of anything. A little bit of some club soda there as well. And then, of course, just to kind of make that taste a little bit better, we'll add some of that gin in there. Free pour like I was in college again. Boom. And away we go. Remember those days? But just to add, for dilly, we add a little bit of dill in there. Aww. And there's a little bit of your Fordilly. And, of course, we can add a little bit more dill if you want that flavor of dill.
Frankie, that is a good, fresh, clear summer drink. As soon as you see the cucumbers and the gin, that's going to be nice and fresh. Really good. Now, your last one has to be the most controversial herb out there. People just love it or hate it. You know what I'm talking about, cilantro. How about you, Frankie?
Cilantro. Yeah, you know myself, I love cilantro, but sometimes people feel that when they taste it, they do have a sensitivity where they almost taste like soap on the back of their mouth. Cilantro is not the easiest thing to grow. It's actually one that burns out quite quickly. So if I have a tip for cilantro, I would buy some plants to start off with and then some seeds. Plant the cilantro, and then in behind it, plant some seeds. Once you're done harvesting this cilantro, the new cilantro in behind, the seeded one, will be there for you, and it'll be fantastic. And then always reseed different batches throughout the season if you want cilantro all the time. Cilantro, of course, when it comes to something, it's 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, 4! You know what that is. It is the margarita, and of course the margarita cilantro. Of course we're going to use the margarita, some tequila, some lime. A little bit of salt is something that you want within that, but this is coming with a warning. Tequila has gotten me in more trouble than anything else in my life. and I don't need to tell you.
Tequila turns the party up. It goes to the next level. Like Leo will not even touch the stuff. He's afraid of tequila.
I won't now.
Right?
Yeah.
I like it. I think
not
that
now.
It like when you get a good tequila, like a good high quality tequila that you can just sip on, like it's a sweet drink. Like just stay off the tables and keep your shirt on, Frank.
Well, I have a problem.
Frankie, thank you so much for these drinks. That was so good. Really great. Now you know how to get those herbs for cocktail season.